Today, we're going to be talking about customer service. As an interior designer, we have to deal with so many different vendors and so many different businesses. And the one thing that I'm dealing with right now, I'm in the process of moving family, like selling a house, buying a house, and completely like uprooting their whole life and changing a million things. So I have had to be on the phone dealing constantly with all these different companies and customer service. And customer service has really gone to shit. Like, it's horrendous across so many different categories and businesses. And really, when you get good customer service, that is truly like finding a needle in a haystack. And it is everything, especially when you're an interior designer, because we are the ones that are constantly doing the follow up and dealing with all the vendors and all the companies. And our clients don't have to deal with any of that. I have been for the last couple of days just on the phone with like all different vendors, like utilities, all different companies, just trying to close down, a house that we sold in New York, get a new house in Florida going, internet company, the gas company, the electric company, like all these. And no matter what you do, you always get it's AI, it's robots. You can't talk to a real person. You're
Or
constantly
you're on phone for hours, like
yeah,
hours on
constantly
wait.
hitting like different buttons and speaking into it, and they don't understand what you're saying. And it's like to get to a real person, but then to get to a person that actually knows their job and knows what they're doing is like another impossible obstacle.
Yeah.
Like,
And these are with businesses that you actually have to conduct business with. Like you need electric, you need water, you need to, or you need to get rid of it, right? If you're not there, if you're disconnecting.
yeah. Like, for example, yesterday we had to set up internet at the new house. The guy was there for 3 hours, ran all the wires, everything supposedly worked. Last night, no internet service. Now they got to come back out. Like, what were you doing for 3 hours?
Yeah.
Like, you
Totally.
just can't get good service.
Yeah.
Remember
I
my
agree.
air condition that's been broken for
Yeah.
a month now? Okay.
Still
So
broken?
2 weeks they came, installed a new part that we needed, $3,000 part. The whole compressor outside the house was
Okay.
leaking. They
Right.
come, they install the part. A day later, the air condition stops working again. We had to call them back. They come back. The part they installed had a leak. It was malfunctioning. So the part was bad because they make things like crap now.
Yeah.
So now we had to wait another week for them to get a new part. Now they're here today installing the new part again. Meanwhile, we've been without AC for a month.
Well, no one.
So now let's see if it works when they leave today.
Yeah.
But they back and forth a million times. Like, why can't we just fix it right the first time?
Yeah. Like if you know what you're doing, why
But
can't it
so
just be
many
done?
people are working in these companies and they're not qualified.
Well, it's lack of training, right? They're just
Yeah.
like, get them going, get them trained. And it's like the training, if you're hiring anybody, and I failed. I failed when I hired my first employee a number of years ago. It, she was good, but she wasn't helpful to me. And the problem was when I hired her, I didn't train her. It didn't occur to me. I was kind of like, oh, I'm so enthusiastic and, wanting to create my business, but it was my business, right? I'll jump in and do this and figure this out. But she was an employee, and I realized, oh my God, I never trained her properly. So she like couldn't help me, and it was a failure. It was failure on my part. That's my responsibility, quite frankly. So when I hired my second person, a lot more training. Like it took her 6 months to even feel confident to still go out and to start taking on things by herself. Because I'm like, no, it's got to be like this.
Yeah.
But they don't train people like that.
Oh my God. They
don't.
don't.
Because that's how I decide on the company. Like if they're going to work for me, how are they answering the phone? How are they
Yeah.
responding back to me?
100%. Me too.
Right?
That's why it's like very, like when you find your good people, you don't let them go and you don't use anybody else because you want that good service.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're working with
know?
trades and stuff like that, but then you get trades that mess up.
And
right?
they're out of your control. Like I have no control. I have one internet provider that I can use. So I have to use them. These air conditioned people, they're the ones that when the house was built, started it. So now they're maintaining it.
Right.
And I'm like, it's ridiculous. I'm like, can you
Yeah.
send me somebody that's qualified that knows what they're doing? Like, I don't want anyone that's learning on
Yeah.
my house.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if they're learning, they better have a qualified person there actually showing them what to do,
Yeah, but
right?
most of the time they don't. They're learning on you.
Yeah. And so what the thing is, it's okay to be learning on that person, but is that person like stepping up, or are they just kind of like, "Oh, I think it works, you know?" It's like in the attitude and in the kind of performance that they do, like, okay, like they can be figuring it out. I mean, many times I'm figuring it out too. And it's like, okay, but am I like am I actually giving my all to it? Like, am I saying, okay, let's do this, and then do this, and then I'll do this, and like we'll try something else, you know, like I'm trying to figure it out sometimes. But I
Yeah.
also know that I'm not gonna stop until I got it figured out. Versus like, oh, I think that worked. I just put that heart there and it's like it should work. It's like, yeah, but does it? Did you test it? Did you go through it again? Did you make sure that it was actually lined up, that it was the part?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's people. I think
People
people.
don't care. They like go through
Yeah,
the motions and then they're out. And they leave and everything's still broken.
yeah. Well, no wonder you're in such a good mood with a month without AC
Oh my God. I
in
know.
Florida, and I bet it's 105. Has it been hot?
It's been hot, but we went and got a window unit and slapped it in one of the windows in the living room just so we had something for now.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah.
hasn't been horrible, but I don't know. Then, oh my God. So we hired these movers, which had really good reviews and were recommended to me to move my family members from New York to Florida.
Right.
The stuff gets delivered on Friday. The movers have opened the boxes, like removed the tape and went through their stuff. And it gets delivered and they're taking it off the truck. And we're just like, why are all these boxes open? Like everything was taped and closed. Like, why are they open? So,
Wow.
of course, I contact the moving company, tell them what happened. We have photos, like, and they're like, well, we don't know. We can't say that someone went through them and took something out. I'm like, well, when we gave them to you, everything was taped up and sealed. When you delivered them, everything was open and picked. So, doesn't take a genius to figure out somewhere along the way, someone went through these boxes and took stuff out. Like it's up to them to figure it out, right? But
Do you
moving
have pictures
companies
of the
are,
boxes before you do you have pictures of the boxes before you opened it?
I know. Because I was down here, they were up in New York and they didn't
Ah,
take, I don't think they took photos of it
of course not.
before.
They wouldn't
But
have
like
thanked you.
some of the big tubs, they actually zip tied, like the plastic zip ties that you need to cut to remove them.
Yeah.
And those zip ties, someone cut the zip ties off of the bins, and two of the bins that were delivered, they were open, and one bin completely empty, like not one thing in it. They took everything out of it.
What was in there? Was it valuable or was it just stuff?
Well, it was like, yeah, it was like a whole bunch of like tools, like tools for the house and stuff that was in the garage. But like the whole bin was empty.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So now I have to deal with this company. But
That's
it's
crazy.
unfortunate because it's just like, I just feel like customer service really has gone to shit. And people just don't care anymore.
Well, the people who care are the clients that people, are the clients that you are like if you take this as a lesson, it's like, okay, if you are an interior designer, the value you bring is the service, right? There's a problem, you address it.
Yeah.
There is
We have to deal with all these crazy people and track them down.
yeah. So, they're like, with your trades, like I used to have like 3 tiers of service. I tried that for a while. Realized that my first tier never moves up to second and nobody ever moves up. None of them. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It could just be the like the way I am, but nobody ever moved up. I'm like, okay, that's it. And plus, what I was finding is that if I was giving the design,
Yeah.
that the execution was not so great.
Right,
And
because they're executing it.
right, because they're
Exactly.
executing it.
Yeah.
And I was still involved in it because the fact of the matter is like, oh, where does this go? Oh, what was this for? Oh, what was the size of that? I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So I
Yeah.
am completely like honed in, only full service using my trade.
Right.
Because, like in a situation where before I worked with other people's trades,
Yeah.
but now the homeowner is talking with the trades. It's their trades. And
Yeah.
now I don't have any control over it. And I'm like,
Well,
I can't
that's
I
exactly it.
can't tell the painter what to do because you walk the painter through to show him to get the estimate, show him what there was. Like,
Mhm.
why? I'm not going to meet the painter on the first day. Like, why?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I tell them the paint colors, which, recently I've had this problem and it's like the client didn't make a decision about the paint colors,
Okay.
kept changing it. And I'm like, I can't even tell your painter the paint colors because you haven't made a decision about that. It doesn't matter. I've given you the paint colors. We've honed it down. It's been 2 weeks. I've been following up. It's your painter. If it had been my painter, I'd be like,
Well, then it's
you're
their
not coming.
responsibility to get the paint colors to their painter.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is not how I want to work. I want to work where, you know, I'm responsible for it all, which
Yeah.
actually I don't even know if I want to do that anymore.
Why is that, Risha?
Why is that? Because when you have a trade that doesn't do the job that you want to do, and then like you're following up and you're, getting after them and you're like, and then they don't have, they're like moving like snails. And I'm like,
Snails.
why
Yeah.
snails? Like snails, like
Yeah.
sloth.
Yeah.
No, I need an answer by then because you've had 3 weeks
Mm-hmm.
to figure out how to rectify this problem. So either you don't know how to do it,
Yeah.
which means now you got to step up and you got to undo what you did and give me back the money and pay for the work.
Yeah.
Give me back the money for the work that you did, whether it's installing paper or painting or carpets or whatever it is, and then you know pay for this product that you now have damaged.
Oh boy.
Like, but then how are you going to implement that? How are you going to how are you going to get them to agree to that and get them to pay you back? Right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Like
it's
I've had a long-term relationship with my trade, and
yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is going, kind of sideways. I'm like, well, how am I going to get them to pay for this and do that? It's like, you know, how do you get them to do that?
Well, I mean, if they have to take accountability, I mean, if they messed up, and then
But
if they
then,
don't, then you see kind of the type of person they are and the business they're running, and it's just not gonna work.
right. So then you say, I'm never working with you again, right?
But you're out the money.
But you're still out of the money, right? You're
Yeah.
still taking responsibility for it because somebody still now has to buy the product
Yeah.
and pay someone to install it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that's not a good situation.
Yeah, not good at all.
No. So what are you gonna do?
I know, but at least I feel like if you have these long-term relationships with trades and stuff that, there is this understanding that you're going to step up for this person. They've done it before. Why is it that they're,
Yeah.
and then things
Absolutely.
happen and they decide, I'm not doing it this time. And it's like, well, you were responsible for this mess in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, if it's a big chunk of money and they're not willing to really stand behind their work and do the right thing, but you got to try to come to a solution because somebody's got to pay for it.
Yeah, somebody go pay for it. Somebody go pay for it. Yeah. Which is why you have these relationships in the first place so that nobody's paying for it because it's like, okay, you know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. Like,
Exactly.
this is your responsibility. And here's my responsibility. I've given you all the information. I've told you where it is. Here it is.
So Okay, for example, with the wallpaper situation you're talking about, I remember a few years ago, I had a client and it was a new build, and we wallpapered a couple of areas in her house, and it was an installer I had used before. He was amazing, and we hired him to do her house. He had actually done work for her previously.
Okay, nice.
So it was multiple rooms. He sends someone else who now installs. And my client calls me and she's like, the wallpaper is peeling off of the wall. And I'm like, what do you mean? I never heard of this because I've never had that happen, right? So I called Tom, who was our installer, and I'm like, hey, Tom, Linda's saying this, is happening with the wallpaper. What is happening? I didn't know he didn't go there and do it. Then I find out he sent someone else.
Right.
Well, obviously, this person is not as skilled as Tom, and Tom was not there supervising. So now the wallpaper is peeling off the wall. But Tom stepped up to the plate and he went there and he fixed it himself.
Right. Which is the right thing to do.
100%.
Right.
But if he wouldn't have, then he would have, my client would have went ballistic on him. And he would have made me look stupid and ruined my relationship.
Yeah.
So luckily he stepped up to the plate. But nowadays, people are, I don't know. I just feel like it's not the same as it was years ago.
It's getting harder for people to step up to the plate.
Right? Exactly. And I don't know why. I just feel like people are not I feel like they're just not trustworthy anymore. I don't know. Sometimes.
You think that if
not everybody, but
yeah,
people are shady and they're out for themselves and it's terrible.
What see, that's the hard part, especially when you've worked with the contractor for a while.
Yeah.
And then now, what happens? And so, I like to have my trades that I've worked with, but I'm still always looking for new people because something happens.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, do I trust this wallpaper installer now? Again, what do I want to?
Well, it depends how he handles the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
If he steps up to the plate and fixes it and does the right thing, then he's a stand-up guy.
But is he really the person to stand up and fix it? That's the thing. Is
he qualified to do it?
Because why didn't he do it right in the first place?
Yeah. Is he like the owner of the company or they have multiple installers?
Owner. He's got her. Yeah. Good joys. So it's all about service, really. It's about service. It's, I have a client and had some problems and he said to me, Risha, we have problems, but if not, and I understand, but I just like the fact that, the way you're handling it has made me feel confident, like that you're stepping up, that you answer, that you show up, that you're actively looking for, to improve the problem and fix the problem. Because that's really what it is.
Absolutely.
It's about stepping up, showing that you're going to do it, and then obviously you've got to follow through on that. You've got to find a solution, right?
Yeah. Because a lot of people will just ignore the problem.
Yeah.
Ghost you, right? Yeah. And, that's the worst thing you can do.
So that's like way back when we didn't used to ghost each other.
No.
That's a new thing.
That's a new thing. Yeah, people just don't want to deal with it and they just don't get back to you.
Yeah. The ghosting, new thing.
Like if I ignore it, it'll go away. But that is not the way it works.
Well, it eventually
You're just pissing people off by doing that.
Yeah. I mean, eventually it will go away, but I know when I've done that, it sits down here somewhere. Like it sits there.
Yeah.
I just gotta take care of it. Like if I've done something, not necessarily for the client, I'm talking about even for myself. When I've shortcut it somewhere for myself, even I don't know, safety pin the hem of my pants, right? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Nobody knows it. But the fact of the matter is that eventually, I know the safety pin, and it just doesn't feel good. I mean, that's very silly thing, but I just know,
yeah.
I want them hemmed properly. I don't want to walk around with, or staples, stapler. I know nobody else does, but I know, and I want it to be right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So eventually in your heart, and then do you want to be that person? Because it's not about what you do when people are looking, it's about what you do when nobody looks, when nobody's noticing. And that's the important part.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
do you do when nobody is noticing? Nobody's paying attention.
Mhm.
That's what you're getting
Yeah.
paid for paying attention.
Yeah, I'm also sick of dealing with people that are procrastinators.
Yeah,
Like,
procrastination.
just get the shit done. Why do we need to keep talking about it a million times? Like, days and days, like, you know?
Yeah. So
That's
you're moving your parents down or your in-laws down there? Are you designing their house? Or they just sort of move in and
Yeah. I'm helping them, like, yeah, when shopping for bedding and, getting all the things, art on the walls, all that stuff. Yeah. So they have furniture. Yeah, I'm dealing with I actually went there today when they're not even there and to really get them organized and set everything up in the house. I like
oh
to
my
do that when
god,
nobody's there.
you're a good
I have to
daughter-in-law. You're a
because
good
they're procrastinators. They're literally just like get nothing done.
yeah,
Nothing, like literally nothing.
that's
So
hilarious.
that's why I was like, I told my husband, I'm like, I'm going there for like 2 hours. In 2 hours, I will get more done than they can get done in a week. I'm not even kidding. So the house is done. I washed all the sheets. I made all the beds
Wow.
or organized the pantry, set up the kitchen. All they have to do now is like take their clothes out of the bags and put them away. That's it. Everything else
When are
is
you available? When you coming to Jersey?
see, that's the way I like to work. Like, let nobody be at the house. Let me just go in, do my thing, set everything up, be cool. I do it quickly. Like I have them there or like leave it up to them. Forget it. It'll be like 2 weeks and nothing will happen. Yeah. Because they're living with us until they can move in.
That's the impetus. Okay, no wonder. I knew there was like there's
So we're like, let's
something
get this shit unpacked. Let's go.
silly to have a house sitting over there.
Right.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's crazy. And
That's
plus, you
it.
don't have AC. Isn't that an impetus enough to go over to the place? Why don't you move into their place? Let me
Right?
stay here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sit in the AC.
Hopefully,
I hope so. I hope so.
I'm praying.
So I'm doing this tiny little bath. This just came up. I'm like, could
Well,
I said to my office manager and my assistant, I said, could you guys just not come to me with any problems? I know we're supposed to help out. So hire this contractor, hire the contractor. Seems really good, very responsive, blah, blah, blah. I had to vet him because the ones that I normally use were not available. So
okay.
great, right? So they give us an estimate, we revise, get an estimate, and then we contract it, right? And we do a site visit to say, okay, just confirm that the pedestal sink is there, the toilet's gonna work, like before we order.
Okay.
Okay, not a problem. Everything's gonna work. Great,
Wonderful.
right? So they demo, and they're working on the pedestal sink pipes, and the super goes in there and says to them, "Well, you haven't asked for a permit for this. You didn't put in that you were going to do this for permission." I'm
Okay.
like, "All right." So they had to stop work. They had to go and tell the in the buildings in New York, you
Yeah.
got to get.
Okay.
So they get it okayed, except that what they have to do is that if they're going, no, it's not okay. In order to do what the building is saying that they have to do, now they have to break up the whole floor
Oh,
for the
geez.
stack. Because we did a pedestal sink, right? Instead of a vanity, it's a very small bathroom, of course, New York
Okay.
City.
Yeah.
So it was barely 24 inches wide by 18-inch deep, like
Okay.
cabinet. And really, it was like, you're not putting anything in there because all the pipes are under there. So we said, let's do pedestal sink. But can we do pedestal sink? The guy says, yes, we get it ordered. It's there. They demo,
Oh,
blah, blah, blah.
God.
Now, apparently, if they're going to do a pedestal sink and hide the pipe behind the pedestal, they have to break up the whole floor and do all this bullshit.
This is Manhattan? Of course. Boy.
And or you see the pipes, which aren't that, you see like, which aren't that nice. We're
Yeah.
supposed to be upgrading this bathroom.
Right.
Well, I'm like, wait a second. Did you not go in and look at the scope of work? Like, we were going to go from a vanity the pedestal sink. You knew where the pipes were. You knew what the vanity was. Like, did you not know that this work had to happen?
Yeah.
And my client's coming back, and we have to have this done before he comes back. On top of that, the tiles we ordered, then of course the color wasn't going, so they wouldn't release it. They weren't releasing the tiles, and we had to pick another tile, which of course is not getting delivered in a timely manner.
Okay.
But I don't know what to do about it. So it's like I need a pedestal. Like now I need a vanity. So how do I find a vanity?
Oh, so you're scrapping the pedestal sink because not to break up the floor.
Yeah, we can't break up the floor because now I need tiles for the floor, and we don't have that kind of timeline.
Yeah. God. Okay. So can you like return the pedestal sink or no?
Well, he hadn't opened it. They were just working on the pipe, so I'm hoping that we can return it.
Okay.
But now I need to get a
vanity.
A vanity, and the reason why we went the pedestal sink was it was just less expensive, and honestly, it's so small, 18 by 24, and the pipes inside were like,
yeah,
I was like it'll just look nicer with clean. Yeah. No.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That sucks. So
But
now
I
you got to
think it's
resource.
What's that?
Now you have to resource something. Did you find something? Or
No,
not
I
yet?
just learned this, like, which is why I'm like, I was like late getting here onto this
Okay.
drive. Yeah, I'm like, great. So don't come to me with any more problems.
Oh my God.
I got more wallpaper problems that everywhere. Everywhere I've got a wallpaper problem.
My God. Because of the same wallpaper installer?
No. Another wallpaper problem.
Oh
I'll
boy.
tell you about it later. A whole nother thing. We should talk about showrooms though. But how to do a show house. Because have you done one?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I think it's a really good thing to do, but it's been a learning experience because I'm doing the Clark Rogers show home for the Valerie Fund in Jersey, which opens in September.
Okay.
So maybe next week we'll talk about
what
that looks like. And
okay.
so many things that I wish I'd known prior to going in.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. I would love to like do one. So let's talk about it.
Because I think it's a great thing as an interior designer to do that.
Yeah.
But it's also like, how do you do it where you can collaborate with other people and get, because it's a huge investment, right?
Yeah, it's a big expense, of course.
And the amount of time that you're going to put into it is just like creating a whole room for a client, which is hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I think we've had enough of today. Are you good?
I'm good.
You're like, I just want to go back to my pool outside and leave all you people.
Exactly. I just don't want to talk to anybody on the phone for a while. I'm done.
I hear you.
Until we can stop speaking to robots and get qualified customer service back, I'm all for that. When is that happening?
Yeah. I don't want to talk to, I agree with you. I do not want to talk to another robot. I do not want to hear another message that is AI, that is some bullshit reporting, unless it's saying, please leave your message and I will call you back.
Because you used to be able to just keep hitting like 0 for operator or representative, but they don't even let you do that anymore.
No, you can't do 0. You can't do 0.
They really don't want to talk to anybody.
They don't care if you have a problem. Have to hire somebody to talk to you and listen to your bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're like, nah, why are we paying somebody to listen to the bullshit that we don't even want to hear?
Exactly. Oh my God. Okay. Well.
All right. Well, we'll be here next week.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, another exciting design tea with Elizabeth and Risha every Tuesday at 4:30. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week at 4 o'clock. I said 4:30. 4 o'clock we start.
Yes.
We usually
we'll see you. Yeah. We'll see you next week on Tuesday.
Okay.
Bye.